we always try to look for very complex problems. Not necessarily, yaar. Make it simple. Skippy is the most simplest product on the platform today, across Shark Tank or any other way. इससे और simple क्या हो सकता था? So I think ideas will come to you. Eventually, you'll have to keep digging, asking people, talking to people, and being wise that idea can come from any kid, any person across your ecosystem.
Sir, if this wasn't successful, what is the next step?
So if this is not successful, fine. This will add to another failure of mine in my stories next time. I will look into something else. I will start another startup maybe. I will become a mentor for a few otherwise, or I might go back to Australia. Who knows? अभी उतना सोचा नहीं हूँ. I think so negatively right now.
Well, that will be another chapter of your biography.
Absolutely.
It's never.
Thanks, guys. Yes.
Good afternoon, I'm Shrija. So I personally think that exploring plays a major role for finding the right idea to build your business. And we as students are overwhelmed with academics that are right there with us. But how do we maximize the process of exploration as much as possible so that we manage time for both of them?
Honestly, the answer is that maybe you will not be able to balance both of them well.
Of course, even if it's 60-40, but still, what is the process?
Can you elaborate a bit?
Try to explore things.
So I think when you are in academics also, there are a lot of times that your lecturers could be talking about XYZ theories and subjects and topics where you could suddenly find an idea. There is no time or period or place where you can actually get the idea that you would want to do for the next 4-5 years. It just happens. Or the other way of analyzing it is, if you are a chemical engineer and if you want to get down into the idea of how can I create a textile which is not going to be torn apart for next 50 years, or how can I create a sustainable textile, you can actually even get down into that kind of a matrix and understand whether is there a problem in my industry that I can solve. And you can actually reach out to a lot of people, like I said, mentors also, to understand whether there is a problem or not. But balancing of yourself in terms of your academics versus your startup idea is a very difficult hustle that you'll have to do. You'll have to stay awake in the late night, burn some oil. You'll have to get up early in the morning, skip your yoga classes or whatever if you guys are doing, and then get into this kind of a thought process. It's a tough journey. It's something like you're asking me that, Ravi, how am I balancing my work and life balance? I have no balance there. It's only work. Simple. Yeah? Thank you.
Thank you.
One last question.
Good afternoon, Ravi. I am one of the CAP partners for this event. My question is, when are you available so that I can pitch for the investment?
That's an amazing question. Maybe I'll see you down the stage.
Thank you.
We'll talk about it.
All right, guys. So with this, we are ending this fireside chat. So thank you, everybody, for staying here and listening to this conversation. And thank you from my behalf to the team of EAD for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, panel, for this engaging session. We would like to express our gratitude for wonderful insights shared with our esteemed speaker, Mr. Ravi Kapil, Mr. Kenny.
So just stay back for the felicitation.
We kindly request Padmini ma'am, you present a token of appreciation to our speakers as a gesture of heartfelt thanks from their valuable contributions to this event.
laundry, household and absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll have a group.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Sir, can we have a group photo?
Oh, okay.
So you can. Yeah, no, you can stand. Ma'am, come.
So one more from our side.
This is from, Arjun, you can do it. Thank you.
Okay, before we transition to our next session, we have the pleasure of inviting the founder of Triarite Solutions to share their insights with our audience. Kindly request Mr. Kishore to join us on the stage. Guys, please stay back. There's a last session lined up. It's a workshop. And after that, the session is going to end. I mean, the event is going to come to an end.
Yes. You can use this for the presentation. This is the next slide, okay? Like your PPT will be played. Mayur,
Good afternoon, people. You guys can relax for 5 minutes. I'll not take much of your time. It's only 5 minutes, and this is important as well. So I have heard some of you guys asking a question: how do we balance the time with your academics and also with the exploring new things and all, right? I could say this can be helpful for you on the same. So we are Triarite Solutions. This is an edtech platform. So we started this year. It's been just 8 months maybe. Yep. I've started it in the month of February. And this is my 7th startup. Yes. So I started my first startup in the year 2013 when I was in the 3rd year of BTech. I'm a computer science graduate. And that is into home tuitions. You all know about home tuitions? Probably everyone might have taken one home tuition in your lifetime. Okay, maybe you are brilliant. The below average students would know about this. So this, I used to supply home tuitions. So this has come into my line because I was a home tutor. Yeah. So I worked as a home tutor with one academy. I am not giving the name of the academy. It's an academy, one of the academies. I worked there. And they've charged me 500 rupees. And they didn't provide me any home tuitions for 6 months because that's the registration time I had. And yeah, they haven't given me not even one single home tuitions. And I paid the registration fees of 500 rupees, which is like waste. And then another academy, another 500 rupees, and even that's a fail. And then I thought of thinking of people like me who've paid 500 rupees all the time, who've got nothing as a service from the academies. Then I started registering my own academy, Nandan Academy. Nandan is my friend's name. He's not here now. He met with an accident, so he's no more. So I started it with my friend's name, Nandan Academy, with 0 registration fees and giving them the service right then and lifetime. And there my business starts. So everyone knew about Just Dial? Right. So Just Dial was like emerging those days. They've given me free promotions. In just 6 months, I've got 27 tutors like me who were like wanting to take tuitions for their pocket money, the co-students with me. And I was having plenty of tutors. Like within 6 months, I've got 27 tutors. I have spread across 20 cities in Hyderabad. And that was going well. And then the dragon comes in, the final semester, the projects and all the semester exams, and I have to come back into the academics again because I'm a below average student. Yeah, 60% was my target. If I get 60%, I'm done. Yeah, and this TriRight Solutions, I told it's a 7th startup. The first one started in 2013. That's into education. The second one started in 2000 okay, I don't have this handy. Yeah, the second one started in 2016 and 17, 19, and 23. In 2016, I had 3 startups, which is into entertainment, which is into education, and which is into e-commerce. So I was a former employee with the 3 organizations. As soon as I done with my graduation, I started with Genpact for 1 year, and 1 year with HCL Technologies as a software engineer. And another 3.5 years, I worked with Amazon as a support engineer. I worked as a risk management engineer for 3 years, and then I jumped out with my full-time entrepreneurship. And this has come to picture filling the gaps between the institute and the industry. So we provide internships, and you could see we are already tied up with 30 colleges across Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So we are have around 5,289 students at the moment, and 7,000 plus students who have registered and about to start by end of this year. So what we give is courses. So we are spread out with all the industries, not for IT. Courses, anagane first mana gurtochedi IT, Java, and full stack courses, right? Yeah. So we are spread up with all the 5 industries: IT, non-IT, management, finance, and pharmaceuticals. And all these courses are not the courses which are like mostly taught in your curriculum, but an addition to that, it's like an advanced course which you can get the knowledge on to be an employable, like whatever the industries expect from a graduate or a candidate. I don't say a graduate again, because once you're done with your graduation, you will be a candidate for the with the profile. So every candidate, what is that required and what is that missing in a candidate is fulfilled at TriRight. So what we do is, we have these courses, like our features. We have online courses, live classes, wherein you can directly interact with the tutors. And we also have offline courses as well, who can come down to office and work with us. So I call it as internships. So these internships are unpaid. We don't pay you anything, but in turn, we give you the knowledge. How? We involve you working with our software development team, who works for a real-time projects which are yet to launch. Clear? And we have these, as I said, 45 variety of courses, and all are affordable pricings. Have you, any one of you here have been to any coaching center asking for a full stack development course? How much does that cost? Any idea? or your brothers or your friends, someone who've been to academies or institutions asking for this course. A full stack development consists of front-end, back-end, and a server connections. All together is a full stack. And that is costing somewhere around 25 to 40,000. All might have known about Amirpet. Yes. That's another call. Actually, that's a place where all academies rely. And we call it another university. Yeah. Because once we are done with this graduation from any university, we'll go to Amirpet for the courses. Yeah. There, the pricing is somewhere around 25,000 to 40,000 plus job assistance or job placements, for which you'll have to pay another 65,000 plus job support, because they'll not teach you properly. You will definitely need a job support, and plus for which you'll have to pay another 20,000 a month for other 6 months of the job support, because they place you back door, not the front doors. Yes. And guess what? We have the same course or same list of courses I would give you for 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees, which will have the front end, back end, and the server connections. This is for the IT candidates. For non-IT, we have electronics and electricals people here. For them, we have embedded systems, VLSI designs, and MATLAB. And for civil and mechanical students, we have AutoCAD, StatPro, 3ds Max, I'm sorry. And for pharmaceutical students, this course is not there in your curriculum completely, which is medical coding and medical transcriptions. We train students on these courses, irrespective of your stream. You can pick up any course that you're interested in, because no one is working on their own stream today. We are like diversified, and even the organizations are looking for someone who are like multi-skilled. And we are available at the same Amirpet again. Yep. Amirpet near Sureka Chambers. You can contact us with all these sources. So I'm available on the same number. Yep. And we are there in Instagram as well on the same name, TryRight. And I would actually close this session with a thanks note for your patience. Thank you.
Let's start with the workshop without further ado. Please join me in welcome the dynamic founder of Sitswarm, Mr. Kishore Indukuri, a visionary in the world of entrepreneurship. His journey from a small dairy farm to leading D2C plays in the premium milk space is nothing short of inspirational. Today he is here share his insight on the entrepreneurship and innovation. Let's give a warm welcome to Kishore Indukuri.
Can you all hear me? I think everybody is all spread out. You can come to the front. How many of you understand Telugu? Okay, good. Most of you understand Telugu. And so Telugu, English, Telugu, Hindi is okay, right? So how many of you have heard of Sitswarm? Any hands? One. Okay. So ours probably is a little easier to understand, because we sell milk, right? As simple as that. And So I'll talk a little bit about what I've done before. I know in the last session Ravi was talking about his journey essentially. So I'll talk a little bit about my journey as well. So I come from a middle class background, right? Family was never into business. My father was an engineer. I started out as an engineer as well. Not even remotely connected to business. I'm telling this so if some of you are feeling overwhelmed to do a startup, you can start anywhere, anytime. I got into IIT in my second attempt, right? I did not get it in my first attempt. Worked hard, got it in my second attempt. Studied at IIT Kharagpur. For which I think this year I got the Young Alumnus Award. So I think I got lucky to get that award. Went to Kharagpur. Didn't really study hard there. I think once I graduated, I realized maybe thoda pad lena chahiye, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to skip all the nonsense, go to the US, study hard. That's what I did. I got a master's as well as a PhD in polymer science and engineering. After that, worked for Intel for about 6 years. So I was in manufacturing. No, I'm not from an IT background. Worked there for 6 years. But all along in my 6 years, right, I felt something was missing, right? Somehow there's a strong personality mismatch, right, into doing a regular job, right? So I think 3 years into my work, I went to one island, a remote island in Seattle, did a wind turbine workshop. So this workshop, was all about, building a wind turbine from scratch, right? So spent a week there, learned a little bit. Then another week I took a break again, and this time I did a solar energy installation on a home in Arizona. See, what was I doing? I was trying to explore what I liked, right? Somehow I was not getting that kick that I wanted, right? I said, then, first 3 years I was doing, one kind of work at Intel. Last 3 years, I moved into a different role. That job was exciting, right? The job, I think, really helped understand a little bit more about myself, right? So, this job was like this. Intel was building a $250 million facility, and there was a small 25 people team that was, part of this project. So wake up at 7 in the morning, right? Be there by 7:30, and things would go on till late evening, late night, right? But that was the most exciting part of work for me, right? And I think 3 years into that, I got to travel a little bit. I realized that, maybe this is the time to try something on my own. I had a little bit of savings. As I said, again, I'll reemphasize, no business background. So I made a lot of mistakes. So I came back, we came back to India. By that time, we had a son, we had a house in the US. So decided, TK, we'll move back. We sold off our house and, started, picked 2 areas, one education and the second one was agriculture as something that I wanted to try. Both of the things, agriculture, something was always close to my heart. And started with growing vegetables, right? And I think, I don't know if Srinivas Reddy Garu is here. At least 5-6 years ago when I connected with him, he was the HOD of mechanical engineering here. He's still here. So another thing that I did was, am I too loud? Am I holding it too close? That's okay. Another thing that I tried to do was education. Education was something that was very close to my heart. So started by doing practical engineering college, practical education in engineering colleges. That was another thing that I wanted to try. And name of my company, is Sid's Farm. And our elder son's name is Siddharth. right? So one of the things that we looked at, right, we were looking for good food for our son. At that time he had, a lot of allergies. So we were always looking for good food for him. And we thought, we've looked for, milk again. Where can we get to good milk, right? In the US, you had a lot of options available. In India, we felt like there were not as many options available, right? So we started with that problem statement, right? So, as you're starting your own enterprises, or if you're thinking of starting your own enterprises, the first thing that is the most important thing is a problem statement. A very, very clear problem statement is needed. We researched a little bit, right? Food Safety and Standards Authority of India was doing several surveys. In one of the surveys, some of the data that they compiled, so some of the testing, the data showed that milk is not there at where it needs to be, right, in summary. Right, you occasionally hear about adulteration in milk and food, always reported somewhere or the other. So we said, let's be part of this problem, right? Let us take this problem and offer a solution, right? And that is a clear problem. So we named it Sid's Farm. Siddharth is the name of our elder son. We named it Sid's Farm because it was a promise from a parent to a son saying we'll produce the best possible milk, and that is what we deliver to everybody around us. That is a clear value statement. This is the value. See, today we started with few people, right? Initially it was just me, then probably about 10 people we started the farm. Today we are close to 450 people, right? But each and every one of our people, this is the value, right? Good milk is what we do. If we cannot do that, we'll go out of business. We'll not do this business, but only good milk is what we do. It is a clear thing that is percolated across the entire organization, right? So as I said, I talked about the problem statement. Initially, when you start, right, when you pick a problem and try to solve it, you'll have one solution that you picked out from various sources, right? So our first solution was, okay, we'll start a dairy farm. Okay. And we started the dairy farm not too far from here, right? About actually a few kilometers from here is where we started our first farm. 20 cows, no background, right? I didn't have any background. I didn't know how to select a cow. Right, I was once, talking to a doctor, I was asking him, how do I pick a cow, right? He said, annam jusi konandi annar. Annam etla justa naakaithe teliyadu at least. But yeah, I took a book, read through it. He said 6 or 7 points.